Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Dev from the Wandering Soul. I hope you guys are doing good. I hope you guys are keeping safe and healthy during these trying times, which have unfortunately still not come to an end. So today we are going to watch a video on once again which is one of my favorite topics, and that is the ancient art and architecture of the Indian subcontinent. So the video that we are going to watch today is showcasing a temple in the southern part of India in the state of Karnataka. The temple is called the Vittala Temple. It's in Hampi, and the uniqueness of this temple is that the main hall of the temple has 56 pillars, and the beauty is that when these pillars are struck upon or played upon with our fingers, they emanate musical sounds. And not only that, all the 56 pillars emanate a distinct note in the musical scale. And that is something that has baffled scientists and continues to baffle scientists even today. So how was this constructed or made hundreds of years back? So let's watch this video for more details.
Hampi, India. Here lie the ancient ruins of Vijayanagara, believed to have been constructed between the 14th and 16th centuries AD. At its center stands the Vittala Temple complex.
Isn't the temple beautiful? Look at that. Look at the spirituality that is emanating from the screen itself. It's just amazing.
Vittala Temple was
There
built
is all these places in India that have been hidden from us, that have never been popularized, and which are so much more
With
to
that in
see.
mind, the king assembled the architects and great engineers and the great craftsmen to create this wonderful building that can also have a wonderful sound that would please God.
Attached directly to the temple is what is called the Ranga Mandapa, or the stage pavilion. Here there are many pillars, some reaching to a height of nearly 12 feet. There's a series of what are called compound pillars, where you have a central pillar surrounded on all sides with smaller
Look at the sheer grandeur.
These colonnades are famous because when they're struck, they emit beautiful and haunting sounds. According to the local guides at the temple, the 56 pillars are individually tuned to one of the 7 notes of the sarigama, an ancient Sanskrit musical scale dating back thousands of years that is still predominant in Hindi music today. Certain groups of these pillars have been crafted to represent the tonal vibrations of the scale for different instruments. Some being crafted to represent woodwinds, some being crafted to represent percussion instruments, etc.
I feel privileged, to be, witnessing, all this that we are able to see from so far away. All these beautiful monuments and temples and architecture that otherwise we would never get a chance to see. It's a privilege.
While the stone pillars themselves seem like simple technology, recent analyses have revealed they may be comprised of an advanced geopolymer blend of granite with silicate particles and metallic alloys. But what continues to puzzle scientists is that the first basic geopolymers were invented in the Soviet Union during the 1950s, hundreds of years after these pillars were crafted.
Think about that.
As a geologist, how this was done is really baffling and amazing. I've heard reports of people trying to mimic it in modern times, to try to just do a little section of it, even one pillar, and people just haven't been successful. So what were they doing back then? We just don't know.
According to Hindu priests, each of these pillars was specifically tuned harmonically in order to communicate with the gods. So you have to wonder, did extraterrestrial beings come down and give instructions on creating these specific frequencies?
So firstly, I want to talk about the video, the temple itself. So I think I have mentioned this before, but whenever I see our ancient architecture, especially of the Indian subcontinent, ancient Indian architecture, the thing that strikes me the most and that makes me the most happy in a way and proud in a way is that they are all dedicated to the supernatural, to the God. None of this is a boast of the ego. You don't see statues of any kings. You don't see statues of any pompousness or ego. Like to satisfy the ego. Look what a great king this is. Who built this. The focus is always on the God. Or the goddess. Or it's on a higher power which everybody worships. And that is why they were, in my opinion, they were able to create such everlasting, beautiful monuments, because it is something that goes beyond the self, beyond the ego of the human self. It's something that transcends everything, it goes out into the universe. And I feel that is the reason why they are so inspired and they created such beautiful, it's standing the test of time. And such beautiful and such irreplaceable, and you cannot duplicate this even today, and so it always makes me wonder what has happened to all this technology, and I think I fear like we have lost, because a lot of the documents that a lot of the universities and documents that we had at Taxashila, at Nalanda, and all these temples have been destroyed, and we have lost a huge millions and millions of documents, and in that we lost a lot of our the knowledge base that our ancestors had, when they created all these beautiful structures, whether it's the Kailasa temple, whether it's this temple, whether it's Khajuraho, the Ellora, everything, all the hundreds and thousands of years back, the technology that was available, we just lost it to the point where even today, in the 20th century, 21st century, we cannot recreate what they built like 1,000 and 2,000 years back. And that is to me, that makes me the most sad. So now coming to the topic of the video, the one thing that I disagree with is anytime like scientists cannot decipher or how a certain thing was created by our ancestors in the ancient times, immediately the angle that comes to the mind of the scientist, whether it was created by aliens, and that is something that is an insult to our ancestors, to assume that time is always linear, so we are all like smarter and better and we have more knowledge than our ancestors, and to have that kind of an approach or angle or attitude, in my opinion, it's a very condescending to our ancestors. It's entirely possible that our ancestors had much superior knowledge than we have, and it's also, in my opinion, entirely possible that all these civilizations existed a long time back with a superior knowledge base, but there have been a number of catastrophic events on Earth that wiped out a lot of civilizations, a lot of flora and fauna. We know so many, right? Like dinosaurs is just one. Like there might be many such things, before the Ice Age and then the Ice Age. So I feel many of those catastrophic events might have wiped out or cut off the threads of continuity for many of these ancient civilizations. I'm not even counting the invasions and the fighting between different countries and tribes and wars. Even in spite of that, or even beyond that, there must have been some lot of catastrophic events, because Earth has a very long history, and nobody really knows when human beings actually evolved or when all these things were created. We just estimate based on the tools available at our disposal, and that's just an approximation. It's like few thousands of years plus or minus. It's impossible. So I think, so the immediate thought that people try to bring in aliens is, to me, is very condescending and disrespectful to our ancestors. And I'm not just talking about the Indian subcontinent. It can be anything, like whether it's the pyramids of Egypt, and there are temples, there are pyramids in South America, like if you look at, there's a sun temple, they're everywhere all around the world, and there must have been some catastrophic events. There must have been something that happened, like the Ice Age came and then that swallowed up a lot of things, like like the city of Dwaraka. And so my take is that our ancestors were much smarter and much more knowledgeable, and they operated on a higher plane than we give them credit for. So I hope you enjoyed this beautiful temple and this beautiful example of ancient Indian architecture, and it's eye-opening, and it's spiritual. It brings out spirituality in things in a way that very few things bring out, at least for me. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, And if you did, please to like, share and subscribe to my channel, and please to share this video. And I'll be back with more such videos on various topics, including music, including spirituality, including architecture, everything. Thank you so much guys. See you again in the next video, and bye for now.